Welcome to the Area 5 IRTA Conference. I am Jim Barr and I serve as the IRTA Area 5 representative and your host for today's conference. I would like to thank each of you for taking your time to be with us today and to thank you for the work that you do for your local unit as well as the IRTA. I would also like to thank staff here at the IRTA for all of their work and dedication to us. We are very fortunate to have such an enthusiastic and friendly staff that is always willing to go the extra mile to help us. I especially want to thank Jim Bachman for his leadership and friendship over the years, and to Nathan for his work on making our area conferences possible. I also want to thank you, all of our presenters today, for their time and their input into our conference. Before I introduce our first speaker, I would like to remind everyone that registration is open for the IRTA conference or convention, which is October 16th and 17th. It is important that each unit send as many delegates as possible. Not only will we be electing new officers for 2024 through 2026, but voting on proposed bylaw changes and other business will be taken care of at the convention. So I want to welcome all of you. And at this time, it's my pleasure to introduce the IRTA President, Bill Funkhauser. So Bill.
Good morning. Welcome to IRTA's 5th virtual conference of 2023. Instead of 6 area conferences in June, we schedule virtual updates spread out over several months, hosted by your area representatives. All members worldwide are welcome to attend all sessions, and I know we have some members who have attended all sessions so far. Today I report to you the state of our association is sound. Membership continues to rise. Our membership is currently 40,414. Financially, our association remains stable. However, since it has been 10 years since the last dues adjustment and 16 years since the life dues were last adjusted, our treasurer, Don Ostrom, and the Finance Committee are recommending that dues be adjusted beginning January 1st, 2024. The membership committee has reviewed the proposal and supports it. With increasing in technology, office staff, and salaries, this is necessary to ensure the future stability of IRTA. This is really an investment in the future to protect our pensions and health insurance benefits. As I have mentioned frequently at local unit meetings, if an organization is worth joining, then it's worth supporting financially. You will find the proposed dues increases in the convention issue of IRTA Action. We are excited to announce that a new mobile and tablet app for the association is available, powered by Guidebook. With this resource, you have access to the most up-to-date information as well as networking tools on your phone and tablets. To download the app to your device, scan the QR code you see here beside me, or click the link in Zoom chat or in the video description. The app will be the new central hub for information and reminders. I highly recommend using it. Planning is underway for the biennial convention in October in Springfield, which I encourage all of you to attend. At this meeting, we will elect new leaders and vote on changes to our Constitution. Like most associations, IRTA cannot carry out its mission and functions without volunteers to lead our boards and committees. Later in the meeting, you will hear from the Nominations Committee and the importance of getting involved in leadership. Finding new leaders is only half the battle. In looking to the future and making sure our association remains relevant, We have been reviewing the consultant's recommendations from the organizational review, the strategic plan developed by the executive committee, the things we learned from the pandemic, and the fact that our Constitution was written in the 1950s, almost 7 decades ago. With these things in mind, I appointed a Constitution Committee to propose constitutional changes that would remove roadblocks to efficient operations and continued success. I asked the members to begin the process with an open mind, and I will tell you that they surprised me coming up with proposed changes that I had not thought of, but they have good reasons for all their proposals. In one of today's sessions, Vice President and Constitution Committee Chair Roger Hampton will be discussing the proposed changes and their rationales. At the end of the program, there will be a question and answer session to help you understand why these changes are vital for the organization moving forward. As you know, our Executive Director, Jim Bachman, will be retiring at the end of the year. Jim has done an excellent job bringing our association to a place of prominence. He will be very hard to replace. Last year, I established an Executive Director Search Committee to lead our search for his replacement. The committee continues to meet regularly and has engaged with a professional association consultant to assist with finding and reviewing candidates. After vetting of potential candidates, the executive committee will make the final decision of which candidate will be hired. We received 24 quality applications. Last week, along with our consultant, the committee conducted virtual interviews with 5 of the applicants. The committee will eventually get down to 3 or 4 candidates who will be interviewed by the executive committee, and they will then make the final decision. For the foundation, the charitable arm of our association, I am pleased to report a strong financial position and another successful year carrying out its mission. The foundation executes 3 benevolent programs: member assistance, scholarships, and excellence in education grants to current teachers. Currently, the foundation is assisting 9 retirees for a monthly total of $4,125. Scholarships for this year have been awarded. Students majoring in education are eligible to receive $2,000 scholarship. The applications for next year's scholarships will be coming out this fall. It is just one of our many efforts to support the teaching profession. The applications for excellence in education grants, which cover worthwhile programs for students that would not otherwise be funded by their local districts, are currently being judged, and the winners will be announced later this summer. The foundation is allocating $42,000 to these grants this year. These programs are funded entirely by donations. None of the money for these programs comes from dues. The primary source is our annual fundraiser, which is currently in progress. As of July 31st, it has brought in $172,231. If you've not yet donated, I encourage you to do so and to be very generous in your donations. I want to thank all of you for attending today and for being members of the only organization whose sole purpose is protecting the benefits of retired educators. I hope you have an informative and beneficial conference. Our next presentation is from our legislative team. Please join me in welcoming our Executive Director, Jim Bachman, our contract lobbyist, Andrew Bodavies, and our Legislative Affairs Coordinator, Courtney Hayes. Jim?
Good morning, everyone. It's great to see everybody. I hope everybody's enjoying their summer. My presentation will be brief this morning. It is summer. It's like everything else. Things are a little bit slower in Springfield. But I just did want to remind everyone that, that we have settled our lawsuit that we filed over a year ago or in January that was against the governor of CMS and TRS about dealing with the funding of your health insurance. We settled that that lawsuit in the fact that both CMS and the comptroller wrote letters that were filed with the court that basically said that the TRIP was in a good financial position and that they saw no need over the next 5 years to make any types of changes because of the financial position, and that they would do everything as according to what they need to do to keep it funded. As some of you know, it was over, the comptroller was approximately $200 million in arrears of funding the TRIP program. Just in the last 30 days, the comptroller has caught up with that. So in lieu of our lawsuit, the comptroller has paid in the remaining. So there's a balance over $450 million now in the fund. So we're in a good position. That concludes my remarks. Courtney?
Hi, everybody. Good morning. I'm happy to be here. I just wanted to give a quick reminder, going back to the convention that's going to be held on October 16th and 17th. We will be holding a silent auction, and any donations will help out tremendously. Donations such as tickets to sporting events, sports memorabilia. I mean, the possibilities are endless, but we will need those donations to make it a success. If you know if your local unit wants to donate or you individually, please contact me here at the office, and I'd be happy, to get that squared away. Other than that, I don't really have much to report on as well. Andrew?
Andrew, you might need to unmute yourself. Andrew's actually at a pension committee this morning, so he's joining us from not a little bit of ways away. Andrew.
Thank you all very much. I appreciate that. Sorry, I was having technical difficulties. So I am actually up in the House committee area up in Chicago today. We're getting ready to testify on an ongoing series of committee hearings regarding Tier 2. Today's specific hearing is on TRS's compliance with federal law under the Tier 2 plan. So this is the second hearing. We testified 2 weeks ago, and we've got 4 more hearings that'll be ongoing. We probably won't be testifying in each of them, but we will be participating through the process. The big push in the state of Illinois is to bring Tier 2 benefits up, to enhance Tier 2 benefits to some point where, at least as a minimum, they comply with Social Security laws and other federal laws. Although I anticipate that it will be more than just that minimal change. I think there'll be a broad look at benefits, whether it's retirement age and other aspects of Tier 2. And my anticipation is we'll see something filed in January and ultimately see something poised for passage, by May of next year, but May of 2024. So a little bit of an ongoing process, but we're obviously more than happy to participate. We're largely acting in a role where we're educating the committee and members of the General Assembly on the issues. Obviously, these changes won't affect our existing retired teachers, but they will affect at some point in time 100% of our future Illinois retired teachers. So that's where we're at.
Does that conclude your remarks, Andrew?
Yes.
Okay. I don't see that we have any questions. So I appreciate everybody's attendance today, and I will now turn it over to Sharon Teefee, the chairwoman of our PAC committee. Sharon?
Good morning. I want to take a moment to share a report on our committee's activities and present our exciting year-long marketing plan. Our aim is simple, but powerful, to make a lasting impact on retirement policies and the benefits of retired teachers through community engagement, advocacy, and fundraising efforts. Let's begin by toasting to our recent accomplishments. Our approval and recommendation process for the last election was an extraordinary triumph. We backed candidates from both major political parties, Democrats and Republicans alike. We were thorough. We meticulously examined return questionnaires, considered feedback from local units, voting records, and sought advice from our talented and committed IRTA government affairs team. We centered our endorsements exclusively on candidates who stand with us on our two primary concerns, pensions and affordable health care. We did not take into account their positions on other issues such as public education, the environment, or taxes. Moving on to our interaction with the lawmakers, we encourage each of you to proactively initiate and arrange meetings with legislators in their home district offices. It's vital that we personally convey to them the significance of our pledged pensions and affordable health care in shaping our lives and our retirements. The time has come to return to our roots and educate for the future, a future we have earned and we deserve. Our state office staff stands ready to supply you with the latest information on fundraising events and social gatherings. Let's ensure that our message resonates far and wide. On a financial aspect, our IRTA PAC fund stands at $116,728, a slight dip compared to previous years. Membership in the $1 per month IRTA PAC donation club is also on the decline. Sadly, we lose roughly 20 members monthly due to unforeseen circumstances. To truly affect change, we require additional funds and increased participation in our Dollar Club. We need to encourage members to check our Dollar Club box when they initially join IRTA, but we also need to ask current retirees to join. Of our approximate 40,000 IRTA members, we have just 5,121 members currently participating in our PAC. So the good news is we have a great opportunity internally for growth. To counter the trend and to promote our PAC, we've devised a year-long marketing strategy set to roll out in the forthcoming months. Here's a snapshot of our plan. Our initial focus is on heightening awareness. We'll coordinate a virtual launch event to engage our members and clarify our campaign objectives. As we progress, we'll work on deepening relationships and keep you informed through regular text updates, push notifications, and reminders. If you haven't already downloaded the new IRTA mobile app, I highly recommend you do so. Around the election period, our focus will shift to advocacy. As the months roll out, we'll honor retirees, concentrate on fundraising, engage the younger generation, and stimulate civic participation through volunteer work and voter registration drives. In closing, our united efforts and unwavering dedication will shape a brighter future for our retirees. We must persist in our diligent efforts, attending fundraisers, contributing to the monthly dollar deduction plan, and spread our message among local units. United, we are formidable, and together we will safeguard our pension and healthcare benefits. The IRTA is the only organization, association, or union with this sole purpose. Thank you for your continued support and dedication to the IRTA Political Action Committee. Let's dive in with enthusiasm and make a significant impact. The moment has arrived to amplify our voices, champion retirement rights across Illinois. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon, and good morning. Good morning to all the retirees out there. I always enjoy the opportunity to come before you for two reasons. Number one is to personally thank you for your years of service and education, and also your willingness to learn more about your pension system. So that's my goal today. I hope that I can come before you not as someone that speaks for the TRS board, but for a member of the TRS board and share with you some numbers and facts, statistics, maybe a little of opinion. But I've learned over the years, the one thing that you really want to know, and many of you tune me out after you've got this figured out, is Is my pension system good? Is it safe? Is it going to be around as long as I need it? And it looks like that's going to be the case, but please don't tune me out. I'll give you an example of why this is important and how it fits. It's kind of like your annual checkup when you go to the doctor and you're feeling well. And once I learn I'm going to live a year longer, I kind of tune out what the doctor's asking me, like those pesky nosy questions like, well, you've gained a little weight since you were here last. And I've got my responses, well, you know, I got a new iPhone here, and it's probably the weight of the phone that did that. It's an iPhone 8, and they're pretty heavy. So, and then he looks at his chart a little bit longer, and he said, well, your blood pressure's up a little bit. I paused for a moment and said, well, I planted a garden, so that's got to help. And your cholesterol's a little bit on the high side. But I tell you about my garden I planted. I'm going to work on that. And then he does the ultimate nosy question. He says, now your alcohol use. And I study this, and I go, you know, maybe occasionally a glass of red wine with dinner. And he smiles and knows that he's probably got another year to see me, and I'll come back. Well, I'm going to share some information with you, and it's going to be a lot of statistics and data, but I think you will be able to make the interpretation that your system is sustainable. And that's what I hope I can convey. But here for the numbers. At the end of December of 2022, TRS investment totals was over $63 billion. And between 2020 and 2022, TRS assets increased by $9.1 billion, or 16.8%. I want to pause for a moment. I think you realize that time frame, that was during the pandemic. And many of our systems saw some declines, systems meaning pension systems. And I'll get a little deeper into that. But a phrase I wanted to share with you, I heard a consultant once refer to our investing strategies at TRS as an all-weather, all-season program. And that kind of made me smile thinking of my grandfather that used to put on snow tires on the car. We have all-weather tires, and your system, thanks to the staff and the board at TRS, has tried to create an investing portfolio that will be all seasons and can manage those good times and bad times. Now let's get back to a few numbers, and I think that'll flesh out. The portfolio at the end of December 2022, was $63.3 billion. Let's go back to 2019. It was just at $54.5 billion. During a very challenging year for the economy in the United States and around the world, TRS investments returns were minus 1.2% net of fees in the fiscal year of 2022. Kind of sounds like what my doctor's asking me questions about. You know, it's not what we want to hear. As a matter of fact, it's been 14 years since TRS has had a negative return for the year. But here's a bit of information that might help that a bit. TRS did better than most other public pension systems that had an average return of minus 9.3%. TRS protected its members' retirement fund. It's an all-season fund that is designed to go through the bad times, and it has to be because our investments, number one, should be positive. Number two, they should be at low risk. And the point that you should take away, number three, is that it has to have a degree of liquidity for the simple fact that every month you get a paycheck. Your pension check comes through. And that's not a secret to anybody, and that's something that TRS looks towards and plans for and manages for. The past numbers are great, really good, but did you know that we as a board have set up our goal to make 7% returns? And here's how we've done. In the last 40 years, TRS has earned over 9.3% on your investments. Here's something else that's probably important, and you see this a lot, is in the media, and I see it as a trustee as well, is the funding level. A lot of folks will say that TRS is only funded at this level. In 2017, we were at 40.2%. We ended 2022 at 43.8% funding. But again, we as a board look for our investments, decreased risk, and the liquidity to the members. A couple initiatives that you might be just to be aware of. The state of Illinois has put 2 programs in place that probably don't impact you, but it does have an impact on the overall system. One is the Accelerated Benefits Program, where the state of Illinois bonded and provided the availability for current retirees to have an accelerated benefit program. Those funds were exhausted, and there's conversations that they'll be put into place to continue it and to have it again. What that does is basically lessen the pension load in the future, and it's completely optional. Something else that's important is those funds are separate than the funds that are utilized for the TRS benefits in the total pool, which is a win-win. Another initiative that's had a positive has been the Supplemental Savings Program, which is a defined contribution program for our current teachers. That is completely separate from the defined benefit program that you and I are receiving and familiar with. This is important, these 2 programs, as they don't add any cost or expense to the overall pension fund. They're separated out. They're still administered through the TRS, but we're seeing that as a positive as well too. So back to our doctor analysis, I think we've got some good news sprinkled in with a bad year of return showing. One other initiative that I'd like to make mention of is TRS is legislated by the General Assembly to have a commitment to diversity. That is having a keen eye towards investing with minority and women-owned business enterprises. A couple statistics for you. Well over a quarter of our investment assets are with women and minority-owned business enterprises. In the last 2 years, the aspirational goal has been 22%. In fiscal year 2022, the actual assets managed by minority and women business enterprise amounted to 29.4% of total assets. That's very interesting, and something I as a trustee enjoy hearing. Many of these firms are smaller or startup firms that have a great deal of energy, a great deal of creativity, and I can't begin to tell you how much I have learned as being a trustee with the different investments we make throughout the country and throughout the world. Let me finish by saying the future and the direction. I'm excited. TRS is undergoing a strategic plan. We have a consultant that spent in excess of 6 hours in 2 different occasions with board meeting time working on a strategic plan. And as we went through and wordsmith and we got input, and by the way, the input from the retirees has been phenomenal. The consultants were truly blown away by the input and the desire you had to make sure that TRS would continue to move in a direction and at a pace that you're comfortable with. And I see that firsthand. I actually used it after a morning meeting. We as a board had a difficult decision in selecting consulting firms for a 5-year contract. And the reason it was so difficult is they were so closely matched. It was almost a coin flip to determine. And I asked the question out loud. I said, which firm is going to help us meet our strategic objectives the most? And we went with Firm A, the firm that we felt as a board collectively then after that conversation that will help us move in that direction. In addition to that, it's going to help boards with the trustees with board education. It's going to help with succession planning through the TRS staff, and it's going to help us set the vision. So given all that, I think our checkup has been pretty positive. I can't say that we're Olympic quality athletes having that conversation with our doctor, but I am, as a trustee, here to say that I'm glad the direction that the board is moving, the agency is moving. I want to again thank you for your participation and your interest in this pension system. I'm proud to say I'm a member of it. And at this time, I believe, yes, Bob Kaplan is going to provide you with the nomination committee report. Thank you all. Have a great day.
Good morning, fellow members of the Illinois Retired Teachers Association. I am here as the chair of the nominations committee to review and update you on the work of our committee at our last meeting, in which we looked over the elected leadership positions for 24-25 and another pressing concern facing our organization, the decline in volunteerism. Nominated to the office of president for the next term is current membership chair, Mike Schmidt. The nominee for the vice presidency is Rainey Kaplan. Our incumbent treasurer, Donnie Ostrom, is also nominated. Levon Cheney is the nominee for secretary. Right now, I'd like to play a short video for the 4 officers that will be considered.
Hi, I'm Mike Schmidt and a candidate for the presidency of the IRTA. Now, currently, and for almost the last 8 years, I have served as chair of the State Membership Committee. Prior to that, I was appointed to the Constitution Committee. Prior to that, in the Black Hawk Unit, I served as membership chair, vice president, and president. And prior to that, I retired from United Township High School in East Moline in 2005. As soon as I retired, I joined the IRTA. Well, I really didn't have any choice. My mother was already a member. My wife was already a member. So to maintain family harmony, I joined, and I'm glad that I did, because as soon as I became a member of the IRTA, I realized just how vitally important the organization is for us retirees. Why, just since I retired in 2005, the association has gained so much clout around the state because we have increased our membership by thousands and thousands and thousands well, you get the idea. More importantly, on more than one occasion, the association has successfully gone to court or successfully threatened to go to court to protect the benefits promised to us by the state of Illinois. So, if I'm elected president, I will do everything I can to increase our membership, to continue to protect our pensions and our state subsidized health insurance, and continue to make the IRTA one of the most important and successful retired educators organizations in the United States. So I look forward to seeing you this October at the state convention in Springfield.
Good morning, IRTA. My name is Rainey Kaplan. I am a member of Unit 90 Northwest Suburban. I spent the majority of my teaching career at Westmont High School. I am a former Spanish teacher, athletic director, cross-country and track coach. I have been very fortunate to serve on the TRS Board of Trustees, as well as the State Licensure Board. For 30 years, I served on my local union's executive board. I spent most of that time as president and chief negotiator. I was also elected to the National Board of Directors, the State Executive Committee, the PAC Executive Committee. I have lobbied in both Springfield and Washington, D.C. on behalf of educators and retirees in Illinois. The real joy in my life is spending time with my husband, Bob, and our 6 grandchildren. I'm hoping to continue my service to the retirees of Illinois by seeking the office of IRTA's Vice President. I want to thank you very much in advance for your consideration. Thank you.
My name is Donnie Ostrom. It has been my pleasure to serve as the IRTA treasurer for the past 4 years. I am again seeking that office and am asking for your vote. It is the treasurer's job to oversee the income and expenditures of the Illinois Retired Teachers Association and to make sure they are spent according to the Constitution and the standing rules. The treasurer also chairs the Finance Committee and provides the membership of the Illinois Retired Teachers Association with a full view of the IRT's expenditures and operations. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Levon Cheney, and I'm presently running for secretary for the Illinois Retired Teachers Association. I have been active in the Shelby County Retired Teachers in Area 5 since I retired. I have been active at the IRTA level, serving on the Legislative Committee 2 terms, the Information Services Committee for 2 terms, and I'm just finishing my 2nd term as Regional 13 Director. I would appreciate your vote. Plus, I'm looking forward to seeing you at convention in October.
There are also 3 representative seats being sought by Area 2 incumbent Wendy Wiegers, and also the seat for the Area 4 is Dolores Turner, and Mary May has been nominated for Area 6. I would like to take this moment to express my gratitude to the members who have stepped up to fill these positions. Their dedication and commitment to the Illinois Retired Teachers Association is truly remarkable. I'm proud to announce that for the first time in many years, 3 of our 4 officers are brand new and have never served in officer positions. It's a testament to the fact that we are continuously welcoming new members and prompting an environment of inclusivity and growth. This is why I am so passionate about what the nomination's new Empowering Retirees campaign we are considering that will provide monthly action items for committee to execute the focus on inspiring, engaging, and allowing our fellow retirees to become active leaders in IRTA. We want to show you that volunteering is not just a way to give back, but is also an opportunity to learn and grow as a person. As we develop our Empowering Retirees program, we are committed to making sure that it is inclusive of all individuals, regardless of gender, age, race, or any other factor. We understand that diversity is essential for representing all our Illinois retirees. To that end, we are actively working to recruit and train individuals from diverse backgrounds to become leaders within IRTA. We believe that by creating a more inclusive organization, we will be better equipped to serve the needs of all our members and create a stronger, more connected community. We understand that the thought of taking on volunteer leadership role can be daunting. You may be asking yourself, do I have the skills? Do I have the time? Will I be able to make a difference? These are all valid concerns, but we want you to know that we have the training, resources, and support you will need to succeed. We will work with you every step of the way, and let me tell you that we feel that you will be confident and prepared for your role. And the sense of pride and accomplishment that comes with being a leader within IRTA is truly indescribable. During our June meeting, the committee authorized the sending out of a survey to our membership. The committee wishes to thank Nathan Mihalich, as well as the Springfield office staff, for their support of the nominations committee for their abilities to develop this instrument that will give us input on the next step of our going forward to increasing the potential of new leaders for our organization and increasing the potential for growth at both the unit and state level in the future. We are looking closely at the survey results and responses and will use them to shape those who wish to take advantage of the training and resources that IRTA will offer to new volunteers. A big thank you from our members who took the time and effort to respond to our survey. The committee is looking forward to meeting with all volunteers as we enter the upcoming months. I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank our committee as we move forward again from Area 1, Jackie Sapenza, Region 2 or Area 2, Bob Lyons, Ray Kaufman from Area 3, Dolores Turner from Area 4, Jane McCown from Area 5, and Pat King from Area 6. I would also like to thank Roger Hampton, who chaired the committee before stepping up to vice president late last year. I urge you all to consider the many benefits that volunteering can provide. Not only will you be making a positive impact on the lives of others, but you will also be gaining valuable experience and skills that can help you in all areas of your life. Whether you have a background in education or not, there is a place for you within our organization. In closing, I want to encourage all of you to take that first step and get involved in IRTA. We need your leadership, and you have the potential to make a real difference in the lives of others. Let us work together to build a stronger, more vibrant, and more successful organization for the benefit of all retired educators. A link to a general volunteer form is in the chat and in the video description. Simply fill out that form, and I will be sure to get in touch with you. Thank you very much.
Good morning, all. My name is Gary DeVito. I'm with AMBA, and appreciate everybody coming here today, and appreciate the invite and being able to give you an update on what all's going on with AMBA. We are your group benefits provider, but most importantly to us, we look at you as partners, and we believe that you guys look at us as partners also. And with that, the IRTA has become the premier partner for AMBA across the country. This is the bellwether that all other associations look to be. You guys have done a great job in continuing to improve your association, your pension, health insurance, and what have you. And you really, truly have done a great job, and we appreciate that. First and foremost, what AMBA wants to help you do is to continue to increase your membership, which we certainly have been increasing the membership and want to continue to do that. We do that through a number of creative ideas that have come about over the years, and I'll talk a little bit about that here in a second. In addition to that, we continue to enhance the benefits that are available through the association to your members, including the vision, the dental, the various programs that will help with long-term care. And on that subject, we have enhanced some of those benefits where there's more lenient underwriting, more benefit available to the members. And again, these are some new things that have occurred over the last year or two, which is important to understand because not everybody across the state knows about that. So also, we've enhanced the discount programs that are available. You know, the discounts that you have available to you as a member will far surpass the cost of membership. And that's one of the drums that I know a lot of folks across the state like to beat. Certainly, we know that retired teachers should be a member automatically of the IRTA simply because of what you all do to help their pension. But with that, again, those discount programs will enhance that as well. So one of the things that we have been doing, we've been doing a lot more in-person unit meetings. If you haven't had us out recently, you should absolutely invite us to come out. Again, because there are new benefits, some new enhancements that most people aren't aware of. But we also have some programs to help create membership, create new members. And that's some of the stuff that we can talk about. I believe there's going to be a breakout room, and we'll be in that breakout room. We can give you more detail, but we are in conjunction with you. We have some creative ideas to be able to bring in new members to the state association, as well as your local association through sending out mailers and what have you. And again, we can provide you more detail in breakout room 3. And when I say we, you'll see other members of AMBA across the panels here. Nancy Kramer is a district manager along with myself in Illinois. She handles half of the state. I handle half of the state. We also have one of our senior benefits representatives that's here by the name of Paul Strid, and our regional vice president, Larry Newman, who I think most of you, if not all of you, know. You know, Larry has the very difficult job of having me and Nancy as district managers. So Larry, God bless you. At any rate, though, we do appreciate the partnership here. And again, we do want to come up with more creative ideas to help you retain and increase your membership. So we are open to ideas. I know in some of the previous area meetings, we've come up with some ideas. Some of them we're looking to get approved. Some I think have been approved. So any ideas that you have, though, we're all ears and want to work with you to help with that. And again, we're continuing to enhance the membership benefits to attract and retain more retired teachers across the state. So with that, again, if there's any questions, we will be in breakout room 3. Appreciate the partnership and look forward to speaking with all of you.
Last year, the Constitution Committee began reviewing the current constitution of the association to assess its viability in navigating unknown changes in the next decade. We based our proposals for fundamental and proactive changes on the IRTA Strategic Plan for 2022-24, which was developed and approved by the IRTA Executive Committee. I encourage you to read the Constitution Committee report in the spring 2023 issue of the IRTA Action to gain an overview of the strategic plan and the positive impact the proposed amendments would have on IRTA's future. Next, the committee sought an overall analysis of various associations to acquire a perspective of past and current practices of organizations that are thriving and those that are struggling. The committee reviewed the book, Race for Relevance, which discussed the last 20 years of changes that continue to affect the association model, such as changes in methods of communication, rapid advances in technology, shifting expectations and involvement in members, and association services and initiatives. Many associations govern the same way they did 50 years ago. However, I am proud to proclaim that IRTA deserves accolades for its performance through the decades. Our association, unlike many organizations, has been both adaptive and proactive and has effectively embraced necessary changes since its inception. Some of those recent initiatives include the use of email communication, websites, electronic forms, voter voice software, virtual meetings and conferences, live help chat, and video production. We must continue our systematic effort to be the premier advocate for retired educators. The Constitution Committee recognizes that there are challenges created by our current Constitution framework that have produced roadblocks and hurdles to navigate. Our discussion of issues included, but were not limited to, regional director and committee positions that are going unfilled, local units dissolving, unrepresented members at the biennial convention, and non-inclusion of all members in the governance of their organization. We must also assure that we are striving to effectively reach and engage the next generation of retirees. Change is not new to IRTA. Since its inception, IRTA has had the propensity to make essential amendments to its constitution. The aptitude to adapt and keep our association relevant and vital for current and future members has been, and hopefully will continue to be, our association's strong suit. As part of our current governance, directors are selected from different geographic regions across Illinois. With the implementation of modern communication technology, information is now shared to all members via emails, texts, and live conferences, making the selection from geographic regions moot. We recognize and are very thankful for all the members who have passionately volunteered and effectively served the association throughout its history. However, the current geographic composition model of committee representation has become a detriment, impacting the board and committees. Let me explain. We have had at times when there were several well-qualified volunteers from a particular area who could not serve because the seats from their geographic location were full, whereas in other areas, seats went unfilled. We must continue to embrace IRTA's initial purpose as stated in our Constitution, which is to maintain and improve benefits to annuitants of TRS. We must recognize and address the fact that all our members, whether inside or outside of Illinois borders, have the same interests. Every IRTA member has the right to participate in decisions that strengthen our stated purpose. The Constitution, therefore, is recommending several constitutional changes for your approval at the biennial convention this October in Springfield. We unanimously believe that each of these proposals are fundamental in empowering IRTA to continue to be effective as we represent and advocate for all retirees. The IRTA Executive Committee has officially recommended approval for all the proposed amendments. The first proposal I will address is the amendment to reduce the size of the IRTA Board of Directors from 33 to 10 members. The Constitution Committee suggests, along with our professional consultants, other experts, and the IRTA Executive Board, that we can be more effectively governed with a board of 10 instead of 33. Responses from the committee received from regional directors include the sentiment that it has become more and more difficult to get members to accept roles or offices for various positions when the members themselves do not see a need for such positions. If this amendment passes, the committee also recommending that the board increase its annual meeting from 2 to a minimum of 4 meetings per year. In fact, the best endorsement argument for this amendment is that it exists today de facto. Most of the association's decisions are made by the executive committee. This proposal formalizes an already established practice. The amendment proposal involving geographic divisions also addresses the issue of a smaller board of directors. If the amendment passes, the geographic division amendment will divide the association solely into areas. The term region will be removed. Again, some current and past regional directors have stated, it was my experience that the information I presented was already known to the local unit officers and their attending members. Others have stated that regional representation is no longer necessary for the conduit of communication due to the use of technology, which has made communication with units easier and in a timely manner. The proposed amendment regarding committees has several components. First, the amendment will change the name of the Nominations Committee to Leadership Development Committee, which is more descriptive of this committee's purpose. Next, the membership, legislative, and member benefits committees will be inclusive of any member in good standing who desires to serve. Real-time video conferencing allows us now to get input from any association member worldwide who wants to be involved with those committees. Being more inclusive will help address past and current issues regarding unfilled committee seats and meeting participation. The inclusive virtual voting proposed amendment is put forth in 3 separate proposals. First, all active IRTA members would have the opportunity to vote prior to the biennial convention to elect officers. Second, members from each area would have the opportunity to vote to elect their area representative. Third proposed amendment, all active IRTA members would have the opportunity to vote prior to the biennial convention to amend the Constitution. These amendments expand inclusivity, fulfilling the committee's desire that all members should have the right to vote on all issues regarding their association of which they are members in good standing. Paper ballots shall be offered to any member who cannot vote electronically. The proposed amendment to remove language regarding the process of proposing a dues increase would be moved from the IRTA Constitution and added to the IRTA standing rules. The standing rules are where the operating principles for the organization are most appropriate. The exact language for each proposed amendment and the rationale for each can be found in the members area of the IRTA website and will be published in the convention issue of the IRTA Action. Also, a link to this information is included in the registration for each conference and available to those attending area conferences in the Zoom chat feature. These amendment proposals were the work of devoted and dynamic Constitution Committee members, consisting of a representative for each area of the state: Gail Hobb, Norbert Walter, Keith Bailey, Donna Sargent, Ann Chandler, Fred DeLoss, and myself. I continue to be inspired by their hard work and dedication. IRTA's purpose and mission have never been and should never be changed from its original concept. These proposed changes only provide a more efficient and practical mechanism that enables adaptation to changing times. As Benjamin Franklin once said, when you're finished changing, you're finished. Thank you for consideration of these important and necessary proposals.
Good morning. Just like to take an opportunity to add a couple of comments. I want to thank you for participating in this conference. It is just one of many opportunities to connect now with the association. I would like to invite you to please join committee members in a breakout room after this part of the conference to ask any questions you might have. And I emphasize any questions. That's how you learn about what is being presented and why it's being presented, to get a better perspective. Also, in an effort to be transparent and to provide information to all members, the committee has provided an myriad an opportunity to learn about the constitutional changes. First, I'd like to ask you to review information in the convention issue of the IRTA Action that you received. That was either by email or a print copy. That's depending on how you opted to receive the quarterly action. Also, there was an article in the Spring Action that I would ask you to refer back to that gave additional information on the constitutional amendments. If you lost that issue, it is online and you can access it. So use these two pieces of information, among others, to get more understanding of what is being proposed. There have been a couple questions that have come out of these conferences previous to now, and some of those have to address the issues of all members. We wanted to ensure that all members had an opportunity to participate in association business. This does not happen at the moment. In fact, only 1% of our total membership can or do participate. That is really kind of unacceptable. We can't on our own just assume that we as individuals of the local, only the few that have been asked to go, and rarely are all the opportunities that they can have at the convention filled. So that is a great opportunity for all members to be actively involved. Some people have asked, well, what are we going to do at convention then? And I think I have an excellent answer for that. It is really an excellent opportunity for breakout sessions. We don't have time this time to have any breakout sessions because of the business we are proposing. During breakout sessions, we can explore and respond to the needs of members, the interest of members, the needs of local units. And we're always asking questions about how can you help the local units? Well, that would give us time to specifically address those needs, respond to them in breakout sessions. So that's just one of the things that can happen that can't happen now at our convention like this year. So those are just a few comments. I hope to see you either in the breakout room, or at least I hope to see you at the upcoming convention and opportunity that will be afforded for you to come. So hope to see you there. I will give it back now to Jim Barr, your Area 5 representative.
Thank you, Roger. And that concludes today's conference. We'd like for you to plan on attending one of the breakout rooms, and we want to thank you all for attending today. The break rooms are now open. Break room 1 is the social lounge. Breakout room 3 is Larry Newman and Nancy Kramer from AMBA. And breakout room 4 is the Constitution Committee to further discuss the amendments and answer your questions. So again, thank you very much. We appreciate your attendance and look forward to you joining one of the breakout rooms. Thank you. Have a good day.